Hey guys, today the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross and what looks like a really clever plug-in hybrid system. Is it though? Let's find out.
Opinions on PHEVs vary widely. Some might say electric motor and combustion engine are just getting slapped together by the manufacturers to offer their customers an attractive tax-saving model. But
Mitsubishi really put some thought into this. In total, you've got 3 engines that are connected to a small 13.8 kilowatt-hour battery. Now you might think 3 engines, well, that thing must be fast. Well, no, not really, because in total they will only produce 188 horsepower. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour will take you 10.9 seconds, and the top speed is limited to 162 kilometers or even 135 kilometers when you are in all-electric mode. So that's quite a bummer to start with, but this car isn't about driving at high speeds. Instead, it's all about burning as little fuel as possible and driving all-electric as much as possible.
Mitsubishi claims a fuel consumption of 1.7 liters plus 19.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers and an all-electric range of 61 kilometers. But as with all consumption numbers, these should be taken with a grain of salt. At moderate speeds, the car needs close to 5 liters during the test ride.
So to achieve those numbers, the Eclipse Cross can either drive in serial hybrid mode, so the combustion engine works as a generator that produces the energy to feed the 2 electric motors, or in parallel mode where all 3 engines work together to get you going. The good thing is you don't really need to know about all the technical details, because the car will automatically choose the mode that's the most efficient one. And because most of the time only the 2 electric motors will do all the work and the combustion engine will only work as a generator, in here it's super silent and, well, you get quite a relaxing ride. I mean, even if you need the combustion engine when, for example, you want to overtake, it won't get annoyingly loud because, well, the engine will only rev up to like 3600 RPM and not all the way up.
This fuel and noise saving measure only comes into effect when the driver kicks down the gas pedal. In all other situations, the whole rev range will be available.
Now, design-wise, Mitsubishi changed the car quite a bit, especially here at the front with these narrow headlights. And yes, it's just another SUV with a coupe-like roofline, pretty much what every second car on the street looks like these days. But I mean, people seem to buy those, so they will be built. When I first saw the car, I immediately thought, well, that's pretty much how an Autobot from Transformers must or would design a car. It looks quite special, unlike anything you will probably ever see on the streets, and I think that's a good thing, and therefore I like the design.
The unique, futuristic and robo-like design that could make some heads turn will set customers back at least 39,890 euros. And in Germany, pure diesel or petrol engines are not available for the new version.
Now, interior-wise, it's quite funny when you think about the, well, definitely futuristic-looking exterior and then have a look in here, because that's quite the opposite, which isn't a bad thing. Call me old-fashioned, but I actually like to have some knobs and buttons to change the volume. You've got a separate climate control, also with knobs to change while you're driving. I like it. Space back here is fine, I think, even for a taller person. But what's a little weird is that the backrest is quite heavily angled to the back. So if you like to sit in a more upright position, you can change that by just flipping the backrest a little bit to the front. If you prefer that, you can also make yourself comfortable back here. Now back here they also changed the design quite a bit. Before we had like a 2-split design back here, so visibility wasn't that great, but it's now improved. What didn't improve that much is the cargo space, because in fact that got a little bit smaller, 385 liters. But okay, at least you've got another additional storage space here for like your charging cable, which is nice. And there's something quite special. If you look here, yes, that's a 230 volt socket that you can use to, like, for example, charge your e-bike or your e-scooter, or keep your beer cool when you're at the festival. That's quite a clever idea. I mean, if you have a battery in your car, why not use it as a power bank, right? So yeah, I would love to see that in other cars as well in the future. Talking about charging, there might be a little problem for some, which could be a deal breaker. I mean, if you want to charge at home, you've got your wall box, that's no problem, as you've got like your Type 2 plug here. AC charging takes around 4 hours, you're good to go. But if you want to use a fast charger, well, if you take a look, yes, that's a Shademo, and as you know, Shademo is used in Japan, but here in Europe we've got CCS as a standard, so yeah, that's not ideal. Now you could say, hey, it's a PHEV, the battery is not that big, so that's no problem, you don't really need a fast charger. That's true, but still it might be a deal breaker for some.
In Germany there are about 2 CCS fast chargers for every Shademo one. And since CCS is considered as the current standard in Europe and North America, it is questionable whether the number of Shademo fast chargers will increase drastically in the future.
Now what I really like about the Eclipse Cross is that Mitsubishi gives you the option to further increase the efficiency by actively changing the amount of recuperation. Other manufacturers often will tell you in an electric car or in a plug-in hybrid, well, that's too complicated, the customer won't understand the system, so let's not do that. But in the Eclipse Cross you've got the option, and I think changing the amount of recuperation is part of the fun of driving an electric car or a plug-in hybrid car. So you've got these pedals here that you normally would know from a normal combustion engine car to change gears, but in here you've got 5 levels of recuperation, and by pressing them you can change the amount of recuperation. And there's a 6th mode that will let you sail. So for example, when you are cruising along on the highway and you reached your speed, you will set it to sailing mode and just, well, sail away. And when you see that the car in front of you is slowing down, you change to recuperation mode, you slow down, and you use the brake energy to recharge your battery. Now the only thing that's missing is a recuperation level that will bring the car to a full stop, because even in the highest setting the car will still creep along and you need to press the brake pedal to, well, come to a full stop. And well, Mitsubishi will even actively challenge you to drive as efficiently as possible, and for that they, well, included a kind of mini game. As you can see here, there's this little tree, and normally the tree is empty. It's a sad, empty little tree. But by not driving like a maniac, speeding, going hard on the brake, but instead using your recuperation modes and the sailing mode in a clever and efficient way, the tree will slowly turn green until it's fully green and a happy little green tree. Now you might say, well, that's bullshit. Yes, it kinda is, but let me tell you, after a while of staring at that empty tree, you want that damn tree to be green and will automatically start to change your recuperation modes and try to drive as efficiently as possible. It sounds stupid, I know, but let me tell you, it's quite fun. So to sum it up, let's talk the good and the bad about the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. All in all, you get a really efficient and relaxing to drive plug-in hybrid system, plus a great all-electric range when using the EV mode, and well, the 61 kilometers should be plenty for everyday use. On top of that, there's the design. I mean, well, probably won't work for everybody, but it's definitely a head-turner. Well, when we talk about the downsides, there's the kind of limited top speed, plus the missing CCS socket, which could be a deal breaker for some.